January, yes.
Yes.
So I did sugar-free in January and then the body rescue straight after that, yes.
Yes,
So
2023. And we're
right.
now July, and so far you've lost 3 stone.
Just over, actually, because I lost
Amazing.
another pound and a half this last week. So I think I'm about 2 pounds of 3.5 stone, actually. So I know. I can't believe
Wow.
it's going so well. And it's so easy. A diet, it's just eating, healthy, clean eating. That's all I
Yeah.
do. It's just, I cannot stress how simple it really is. In fact, you've done all the hard work, Christiane. You've put this amazing plan together, and all
Oh,
I'm doing is actually following what you suggest I should do. So, and it works.
yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
it's amazing.
so amazing. Remind
Mm.
us of how you were then before January. What was going on?
Oh. We, I was in quite a bad place actually. As a family, we're still going through a lot of stress as a family, but I was just getting so consumed by all the negativity around us, and I was feeling fat, I was feeling old, I was feeling tired. I just thought, this is it. My life is this is it from now on. And then I had to just a moment where I thought, no, I'm worth more than this. I have to get my act together and just do something. And so I signed up for the sugar-free challenge, and that was it. The best thing I've ever done, seriously. And it helped
And were you,
my husband as well.
oh, amazing.
Sorry.
Were you both sugar addicts before that?
Well, he's diabetic, so he's always struggled with to keep the sugars where they need to be. So I started the challenge, and I said, "You've got to try this. This is amazing." And then towards the end of the challenge, he was like, "Do you know what? This I feel great." And we watched Gina actually tell us about her story.
Oh,
And I said, "Look, you've really got to you've got to do the BRP with me. You have to." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And so he did, and within literally a few days from finishing the sugar free and starting the BRP, he was off his insulin, and that was just incredible. So we
wow.
carried on from there, and he's doing the maintenance with me as well. But it's not maintenance; it's just a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It is a way of life for us now. It's not. I don't look at it as a plan I'm following. It's just this is the way we live our lives. We live our lives. This is how we eat. This is how we exercise, and that's just transformed everything for the family. So it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But we still exercise. It's very much we get up in the mornings, we do our abs every day, apart from Sunday.
Brilliant.
And then we do everything we need to do. In fact, Robbie's
Fantastic.
in our living room every morning because we actually get his exercise. We save them. I've actually saved them under different categories like arms, legs, core, CrossFit, and we just do a program. And we choose our own every week, and we make sure we exercise every day. We do. I've just started running as well. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is the
Wow.
woman who was exercise phobic. I just hated the thought of it. I'm not really fixated about the weight, to be honest. It's more about how I feel and my energy levels. I've always been quite perky, but I'm definitely a lot perkier since I've lost the weight. My kids
Amazing.
think I'm a nightmare because I'm dancing everywhere, I'm singing everywhere. Like, oh, mom,
Oh,
just shut up and stop moving.
I love that. Can you mind sharing your age?
53.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
53.
Oh, you
Yeah.
look amazing. Oh,
And I'm loving the yoga as well, Christiane. Really loving it.
how has your life changed in the last 7 months?
Oh my goodness, unrecognizable. Because as I said, we started the year. It was just such a negative space to be in. But bit by bit, I felt that I've got my life back. I mean, I know I'm 53, but I feel as if I'm in my 20s.
Yeah,
Seriously,
you look
I've got
like
so much energy back. I've got so much energy back, but I'm just so much more positive about things. And, life happens and there are problems, and we still need to get out of the situation that we're in. But it's fine because we will.
yeah,
Things are moving, and we're getting where we need to be. But I'm so glad that at the start of the year I took that decision to put me top of the list,
mm,
and it's had like a ripple effect down to the family. So
Amazing.
obviously I'm feeling fitter, happier. My husband's doing brilliantly. I mean, it was about stress levels for him. So we find together that we just manage stress a lot better than we used to.
That's
It's all to do with
so
the breathing. We just breathe.
yes.
That's what we need to do. Breathe. No.
That's amazing, because you could have, as a family, gone completely the other way, couldn't you?
Totally.
If you were going through a very difficult family situation,
Yeah.
you could have
Yeah.
just all gone, well, let's just have lots of alcohol, lots
Yeah.
of bad foods, and we all have anger towards each other. And it's such a positive change to make in a family that's going through
Yeah.
stress.
Yeah. And we're
Really
still going
commend.
through stress, but we are dealing with it much better than we did at the start of the year. That's for sure. But it's the third thing is the mindset and all the meditation and the relaxation. That's something that we never used to do. Didn't have time to meditate. I mean, what's the point? But now I try and do it first thing in the morning, and we definitely do it before we go to sleep. So it's amazing just how much my taste buds have actually changed. I wouldn't want to go back to how I used to eat, definitely. The support network is the most important thing. So if I were to give advice to anybody, I would say just go for it, because it's not just access to the meal plans, it's everything else. That's what I found really useful about maintenance. It's the exercise, it's the advice that you still give us, it's the advice from Gina, it's the full package. It's not just about carrying on losing the weight, it's how to make yourself feel better, how to live better.
Had a sugar problem or a sugar addiction really for all my adult life, and you get into this cycle of just not being able to get out of it, and you just get lost. It's almost like going down a tunnel. So I started that in May, and it was really quick to see the benefits, really, to be honest. I think the major thing for me, I was just surprised at how easy it was to become non-addicted to sugar. It almost looked like I'd had Botox because it made my skin feel lovely, and the wrinkles started to sort of almost smooth out across my forehead, and it was just it's just wonderful, because I just spent years and years and years just being addicted to it and not being able to get out of that cycle. My physical health has improved. I remember getting out of bed in the morning, I'd be achy. My feet almost felt like they were broken, which sounds bizarre, but they were so achy, and I'm assuming that's the inflammation. And that doesn't happen anymore. Or I'd roll over in bed and one of my hips would hurt. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. And even going on holiday, my friend was just astounded at how much quicker I walk. And she almost couldn't keep up with me, and she walks sort of 6-7 miles a day. And so initially my focus was to lose weight, but that's changed now, because I've seen those non-scale victories, really, and I think the health benefits are so much more important, that if I concentrate on my health, the weight's going to come off anyway. But yeah, I can just write a great big long list of all those health benefits, and that started within a couple of weeks, really. But I was pre-diabetic. I was I think my number was 47, and I think 48 you're diabetic. My cholesterol was it was elevated. It's about 5.3. To be honest, I was offered a statin for the cholesterol, and it kind of incensed me, really, because it wasn't that high. I was already on blood pressure medication, and quite frankly, I want to come off of that. I don't want to be on that as well. So really, within the 3 months, I've reduced the cholesterol down into the normal range, so that's in the 4 range now, and I'm not pre-diabetic anymore, and I intend to keep it that way. And it's just so easy, just by following the plan.
Amazing.
And that's where, for me, I think the mindset is one of the most important things, because when you're in the right mindset and you're positive, that's when everything changes, really. So doing things like the meditations, having a gratitude diary, and really just being grateful for all the small things in life and all the small victories, and not just concentrating on the scales.
Absolutely amazing that you've made such huge changes to your health. How does that make you feel physically and mentally?
Absolutely fantastic. So physically, I'm feeling much better. So I've got my list here because there's just so much of it. I blood sugar, because that's back into the normal range. My cholesterol's back into the normal range. My movement and agility is so much better. I've got more energy. My skin's better. I've got no foot pain, no hip pain. My mood's better. Reduced inflammation, less aches and pains, more stamina. Generally, more confident in myself. That's a really big thing. And I think when you get into your 50s as a woman, you almost become a bit invisible. But now I feel really confident, and I'm there, and I make my presence known almost, really. So that's really uplifting.
Amazing. And how old are you? Can I ask you?
57.
50. When was the last time you felt this good?
I can't remember. I can't remember. I've spent the whole of my life relying on food, really, to make me feel good, to cover that emotion, really. I think since I didn't have a very good childhood, and I think food has always been used to cover that, really. So yeah, I feel free. It's almost like I've been held down by chains, and I'm not held down by chains anymore. I just feel free. If I want chocolate, it's there. But of course, I haven't got that. I need to go and eat several chocolate bars, which is what I was doing before.
Yeah.
Because that addiction is not there anymore. And as you say, that's really liberating. It's migrating up into size 24 tops. And so trousers or leggings, I would get into a 14, 16, but the top, I'm still getting into an 18.
You're doing amazing. You've lost three to four dress sizes, which
Yeah.
is absolutely incredible since May. So what's that, 5 months ago? So yeah, it will carry on, and you'll carry on feeling wonderful.
Any lady really who's over 50 who is feeling invisible, and there's a whole new world out there. A whole new life. Have some self-care, think about yourself. The results and the rewards can be absolutely wonderful for your physical health and your mental health.
Wow, I love that. Thank you. Thanks, Deborah.
Thanks.
We're going to be chatting about her journey on the Body Rescue Plan. Thank you so much for joining me, Jennifer.
The pleasure.
Oh, so all this week we've had quite a few people. Tell me where you were before you started the Sugar Free Challenge in January, didn't you?
I did, yes. Started the free challenge in January. Funnily enough, it was interesting. Just came across it by accident, to be honest, but related to a lot of the stuff that the tiredness, carrying the extra weight. All the stuff that the questions it was asking, do you feel like this and do you feel like that? And I did. I did feel like that. And in fact, I had been just before Christmas to my GP because, like everybody else, carried a bit of extra weight, which wasn't major, but I wasn't feeling brilliant about myself anyway. But mainly I was getting lots of headaches. And because I have a busy life, home with my daughter, really full life, I just kept on taking headache tablets, to be fair. And then I realized that in a week, I'd probably been having, 4 out of 7 days, I've been taking headache tablets. Wow. Feeling tired by about 3 o'clock, having that 3 o'clock slump. So I'd been to the GP to ask about to get checked out about these headaches. Had some blood tests. Blood pressure was fine, but one of the things that a blood test revealed was that my blood sugar was quite high. Right. And she kind of said, let's talk about diet, but nothing specific. So specific. So I cut out sugar. I cut out biscuits and, you know, all that. And she kind of said that she would get a dietitian to get in touch with me so we could go through a program, but it didn't really happen. So when I came across a sugar-free challenge, I thought, you know what, it's not a lot of money, it's just a little while, it's worth giving it a whiz. And I did. Yeah.
Brilliant. So tell me what then happened in those 5 days. Did you notice any changes? Did you feel any better? Did you lose any weight?
I loved the recipes, because to be honest, we all know we should be making wiser choices, don't we? We all know that, really.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been. The recipes are fabulous, colourful, you know, easy. It was, you know, the thought with the having a shopping list, you know, I didn't have to think about it. Yeah, that was really nice, Christian. You do all the work, really.
So
that suits me.
So you did the sugar-free challenge. You felt a little bit better on the sugar-free challenge. You thought.
Yes.
So what, at the end of the 5 days, why did you decide to sign up to the Body Rescue plan? You did the Body Rescue VIP plan, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. Why did I sign up? Why? Because I've made a start. And, you know, I had been feeling, you know, all last summer, I really didn't like how I looked in my clothes. You know, I love my clothes, and last summer I didn't like how I looked, and I didn't feel nice. I didn't recognize the person who was staring back at me in the mirror. I know compared to some ladies, I didn't put on a lot of weight, but I've got a small frame, and so, you know, it's nowhere to go. It wasn't nice. And I thought, you know what, this gives me a chance, if I was to start now, to do something about it by the summer. By June, July, I could be different. And what people try and what works was good. The exercise was brilliant as well. That was really good, because I had joined the gym. I had been a gym buddy in the past, that had gone to pot. I joined the gym anyway. So being able to do exercise first thing in the morning at home on my own, get it done, that's how I have to do it, that was brilliant. And not prohibitive, you know. If you're out of shape, it's not a big deal, you start gently. So
yeah, brilliant. Okay, and then how long into doing the Body Rescue plan did you notice you started to feel better and the headaches started to subside?
So I'd say maybe 3 or 4 weeks in, I kind of realized that I hadn't had them. And I also noticed quite early on that I hadn't had that that mid-afternoon slump of energy, because I'm an early bird, and I'm up sometimes at 5ish. I'm quite happy to be up doing stuff, you know, printing off printouts for Taya's classes, or doing a bit of barbering. That I kind of thought it was par for the course. But you know, you've been on the go since 5, so that's basically what it's about. But it wasn't. you know, from the information you've sort of shared, realizing that the dietary choices I've been making had been contributing towards that. So, you know, after lessons were over at sort of 3, I was quite happy to go into the kitchen and do a bit of batch cooking, or, you know, do this or do that, which I hadn't had the energy to do. You know, and it was in that a really short time, that difference. It was amazing.
That's amazing. And what I find fascinating about that, and a lot of people have that, is that people often presume if you go on a plan like this, it's going to take hours out of your day, it's going to be exhausting, you're not going to have the energy for it. But actually, it's the opposite. It gives you a lot more productivity within the hours that you have in the day. It doesn't give you more hours, it gives you more productivity, more energy, so that you feel like you've got more time. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, do you have headaches now?
Do you know, I'll tell you something, this would really make you laugh. Well, not really make you laugh, but a little while ago, it was about 3 weeks ago, very sadly, a good friend of ours passed away. And we had the after, you know, the cremation and everything, we were invited to his favourite hotel. It's like a manor house, for afternoon tea. And I remember putting it on the group thinking, oh, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Anyway, long story short, I did actually indulge in a couple of mini scones and a few petit fours. And that night I got a headache. It was immediate.
Wow.
And hubby used to say to me, it's something you're eating. Your body's trying to tell you something. You know, it's not right. Yeah. So yeah, they've gone.
That's amazing. And that's such a poignant thing to say that your husband said. He's very clever, very wise.
Yeah,
Your body is
yeah,
always trying to tell you something if it's in pain. That's why you get in pain, so that you listen and you go, oh, you know, I've just stubbed my toe. I need to lift it up, not let it get hit again, or whatever it might be. But often we, like you were saying, you're busy, you're a homeschool mum, and you know, we just ignore the warning signs,
yeah,
don't we? Until they really scream in our ears, and then we're just like, I can't
yes.
ignore this anymore.
Yeah. You know, what was been interesting was that, you know, going on to the sugar-free plan and the body rescue plan helped me to understand where that sugar comes from.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't, and that wasn't explained to me, you know, to be fair. So you just think, oh, I won't have any sugar in my coffee, and then I won't, you know, I'll cut down on the cake, but it's not just that, is it?
No.
It's
But
not just that.
I would imagine, because your headaches have got better, because you feel better, and because you're not getting the afternoon slumps, I would imagine your blood sugar levels have really balanced out. Because one of the signs of having, you know, high blood sugars is that you get really tired, really exhausted, and you crave sugar all the time. So
I don't feel I'm missing out. I think the sweet treats on the BRP are brilliant. I haven't had many, to be fair, but they're there. You know, if that's, everybody's different, aren't they?
yeah.
But yeah, brilliant. There's a salmon dish we do with a mango salsa, so it's just like with fresh mango and chili and a bit of. You know what? That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It is absolutely, you know, it's just so simple but amazing. And I also like in the morning, sometimes I'll just do some porridge with water. I'll do it with coconut water sometimes, with the coconut and lime. I love that, and a bit of mango. Oh, that is lovely.
So you
Just
lost
one of those things.
a dress size, did you?
I did, yeah. Lost a dress size to my wardrobe, getting back to my favourite things, adding a few little pieces, you know, shaking things up a bit. It's been brilliant getting back into my stuff and changing things, you know, putting outfits together again and feeling good about clothes again. That's been priceless too. Yeah, I turned 60 last beginning of the month. I was feeling frumpy. I didn't want to reach 60 and feel that.
You've practically rid your headaches, which are quite debilitating, and you were on drugs for them every day, which medication, and that's, you know, harmful in itself for your liver.
Not good. Yeah, not good. Yeah.
So you quit that. You've got better there. You listen to your body, as your husband said.
Yes.
You're doing your exercises regularly now. You've lost a dress size, and you've got a lot more energy. You're not having the afternoon slump. It sounds like your blood sugar levels have balanced now.
But funnily enough, friends and I were talking the other day. You start to feel, you know, I feel really rough. Is this how I'm supposed to feel because I'm 60, or, you know? And some people, we do think that, don't we? Yeah. This is it now for the rest, because that's just how it. But it's not, and so it's worth that little bit of investment just to see what the better you can be, to be honest. You know, and as mums and grandmas and whatever, we always put ourselves last. You don't have to weigh things, you don't have to count points, you have to count calories. We haven't got time for that. I haven't, or the inclination. I really haven't got the inclination. And well, thank you guys as well for your support. You know, you do a lot to make it easy for everybody.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Bye for now.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
So, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Tracy did the sugar-free challenge in January, and then she signed up to the body rescue plan for 12 weeks. It was around December time, wasn't it, when you really thought...
I was at a really low point actually in December, because I'd gained so much weight over the last few years. I'd had a health scare last year. So every time I felt that I was ready to sort of start something, I sort of got hindered by other sort of health issues. And in December, as sort of you get to Christmas, I always sort of that end of year reflection and think, oh, I felt awful, I look awful. And I just thought, what could I do? And then literally I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw your post for Sugar-Free Challenge. And I thought, and it said something like, I think it was 5 days. And I thought, do you know what? I need some motivation. What have I got to lose? It's probably a gimmick, but what have I got to lose? And I absolutely cannot believe how it's transformed my life just from that moment of looking at that Instagram post to today, where I joined the sugar-free challenge and then joined the body rescue plan. And honestly, I can't encourage people to do it enough, because when you're in that sort of downdrams of really despair, not knowing what to do, you're feeling so low, and you just think, what can I do? And this, honestly, I can honestly say it's really transformed my life.
So during the 5 days then, from kind of start to finish of the 5 days, what effects did you feel just in the 5 days?
Just in 5 days, it's not just about the weight loss. I think I lost 5 pounds in the first 5 days, which obviously gives you that real sort of eureka moment, thinking things are working. But it was more about my mindset and learning about what sugar was doing to my body. I hadn't really fully appreciated at the ripe old age of 51 that this is actually what I was addicted to. I'm confession of a chocoholic, but actually it was all about then the other aspects of sugar that are in other foods and other things that were my go-to. And I'd always think, being stressed, I always go to sugar. And actually learning every day something different, but how alternatives, like making homemade chocolate, that was a real, game changer for me. And learning about my mindset. So doing those beautiful sort of meditations, and I think we did it on the beach, and that was just beautiful, because obviously your surroundings are obviously different, but just even looking at it from a picture just changed my whole sort of outlook, and thinking, yes, I can do this. And as I say, just really about my mindset really changed during that week.
Brilliant. And just before the sugar-free challenge, you've been suffering terribly with menopausal symptoms, haven't you? Tell us a bit about that, because you were even seeing a menopausal specialist, weren't you?
Yeah. I've been perimenopausal since literally at 40. I had my 40th birthday, and it almost like wham bam, the hormones just literally changed overnight. And I've been really struggling. And yes, I saw my GP, who was fantastic. But I ended up seeing a menopause specialist because I just really wasn't getting anywhere in terms of making myself feel better. And I was put on HRT, but again, it really wasn't helping. And I've been on a HRT for 5 years. And I think one of the things that wasn't helping was the stress levers of like HRT wasn't the absorption in my body because of the stress levels. And I think because of sugar, the anxieties, my mood was completely all over the place. I could wake up one day and I'd be happy, and the next minute I'd have this sort of cloud over me. My body joints were awful, really, really aching. I wasn't sleeping, and I just felt bloated all the time. So I literally I was trying really different things in terms of how I could help myself, but nothing seemed to be working. And I can honestly say this has been the first thing changing my lifestyle in terms of my food, my sort of energy levels, in terms of I can't do as much exercise because I've got a back injury, but the meditations that you did, in terms of on the body rescue plan, and just the whole sort of mindset that how you describe things to us has really just made that change, but particularly to my menopausal symptoms. December, my confidence has really gained. I've had friends and family say that I've come back to my old self, and I'm just feeling so much better. I'm actually doing the cooking, and I'm actually doing baking, and sort of baking sort of these wonderful cakes and chocolate for people, and actually they're all healthy, and doing me really good, not having the sugar in them. So I'm just a different person. I really can't say how much I've changed in 14 weeks. It's absolutely amazing. Between you and Gina, you were able to help me, and I've actually reintroduced the foods that I were told that really for a histamine intolerance you shouldn't have, but everyone's an individual, and I've been able to introduce things like tinned tomatoes again. I just have them infrequently, but I can have them again, which is absolutely amazing. They're not giving me the same side effects I was having before, so I'm thrilled.
So that's really
I knew I was obviously starting to feel better, but I can't put it into words how I feel now. I'm just this lighter, I've got more energy, I just feel so good. And it's not a gimmick, it's not where I've done other plans before for an event and then slowly crept in terms of I've never been in this position before. I've normally sort of, the little crap habits sort of creep back in, but I feel so good. And there's no way I would have thought at the beginning of that I would feel like this. I knew that I'd obviously possibly lose a bit of weight, but the absolute overall feeling in my body, I feel absolutely, absolutely great. I can't think how to articulate this enough. And sort of if there was rainbows and sort of stars sort of popping around now, that's how I feel. I just feel so good because I feel that I finally got things back in control. I'm in control of my food. I'm in control of my menopause symptoms.